people who are practicing yoga should know the 8 limbs of yoga. Otherwise, I think something is lacking. Maybe you don't know that in the beginning when you start. Maybe you start out in a gym where you start a drop-in class, but within time, the teacher should kind of integrate, not to create violence towards yourself in your practice, to be truthful to yourself and other people, to work towards kind of Brahmacharya is like, it's not only to restrict from sexual activities, much more than that, to be average in life, to learn how to consume with your energy, and not to take things that doesn't belong to you, and not to collect more things than you need to have. This is, I think, is very important that you know that it's in the Yoga Sutras, and as well as stay clean, take care of your cleanliness, your words, your action, your clothes, your body, to aim to be happy with what you have and what you don't have. Contentment. And the tapas, the different tapas, the way of cleansing your body and your whole system. And svadhyaha, to study. It means to study old scriptures of yoga, not what's written in the media every week, the old texts, and Ishvara Pranidhana, to create a humbleness for the power, the great power that is bigger than we are and that we are all part of. But to really understand that we are not in control of this life. This, I think, is very, very important. The outcome of this life we are not in control of, but we are responsible for our actions, because we will always have consequences from whatever we do. But we don't have the control of the outcome of our actions, right? So I think that's very important things to know. I do think one of my favorite verses is actually in the first chapter, which I read to myself many times if I feel I'm getting stuck. The second chapter is important to know, that is the pranayama aspect, which is described there, and the pratyahara is also how to get through the obstacles that the senses can give, this desire that the senses can give us, so we don't react on the desires and the senses' immediate need of satisfaction. That's a very important part of the second chapter. But my favorite verse is actually the one in the first chapter, 133. And in Sanskrit, I'm not a scholar in Sanskrit, so I try my best. It's called something like Maitri Karuna Mudito Pekshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Vishayanam Pavana Chitta Prasadanam. And there are different interpretations of every sutra. I do like this one in this version. In daily life, we see people around who are happier than we are, and people who are less happy. Some may be doing praiseworthy things and others causing problems. Whatever may be our usual attitude towards such people and their actions, if we can be pleased with others who are happier than we are, and compassionate towards those who are unhappy, and joyful with those doing praiseworthy things, and remain undisturbed by the errors of others, even I would say remain undisturbed by the others, because so much of our energy goes to the others, what other people are doing, what other people are not doing, what they're saying, what they're not saying. So we are putting more energy into other people's lives than into our own lives. So that verse, I think, says so many things about life and our attitudes towards life, people, ourselves. And really, I think if we truthfully could be compassionate and happy for other people and remain undisturbed by the others, the world would look very different, I think. So we can only see it like in the practice, when people practices. As a teacher since so many years, and as a student, for so many years. I know for myself how easy it is to look, what is he doing, what is she doing, and put my energy into other people's mat, not into my own mat. So the practice of asana gives you the opportunity to learn all these things. If you know them, if you know what you're learning, you got to know this book. You got to read this book if you're a student of Ashtanga Yoga. You got to study, read Patanjali Yoga Sutras. There are so many different interpretations of the sutras. This is only one. I've read maybe 5, 6, 7 different interpretations over the years, and you got to find the one that is talking to you, because they all interpret very, very different.